What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Boston Bruins franchise mode here at Dreams Gaming. This is Private Penne. We left off last video with free agency, and a little bit disappointing. We really wanted Kevin Shattenkirk, aka Shevin Kattenkirk, so we could put him on that top pairing with Zdeno Chara. That did not work out. We did get sort of a consolation prize in Tyler Johnson. Better than nothing. So that was a little bit unfortunate. I made a few trades at the draft, and we're going to try to be contenders this year. We're going to try to push for that playoff spot, and a little bit unlike last year in that I wanted how we did the first season, or how we were doing in the season to determine what direction I want to take this team in. This season, I want to contend. I want to try to make that push, and I kind of showed that last episode by trading for Zdeno Chara. The episode was titled The Return, and it was the return of Chara. He only spent about a half a year away from us, but we got him back now. We traded for him from the Devils, and he's probably going to retire this year, and we want him to retire going out on top. And if not on top, then going out just well. We don't want him to end up in the lottery. I said this last season, and we tried to trade him to a team that would be in the playoffs, but that didn't work out. So I'm ranting. You guys don't care about that. So what we're going to do now, I didn't do this at the end of last season, but we're going to go look at the awards. Look at the player awards for the season, and the Stanley Cup went to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They got the repeat, one in real life and one in the sim, so good job, EA. NHL 17 got it right. President's Trophy went to the Lightning, and as you can see here, the Sharks and the Penguins had a Stanley Cup final rematch. Good job, NHL 17. Art Ross goes to Steven Stamkos, as well as the Hart. Typically, if you win the Art Ross in the game, you will win the Hart. The Norris goes to Erik Karlsson. Lady Bing to Kucherov. Calder goes to Laine. He beat out Matthews for the Calder Cup. Conn Smythe to Malkin. The Vezina and the Jennings go to Pekka Rinne. Masterton goes to Hamonic. The Selke, aka the Patrice Bergeron Award, goes to Jordan Stahl. Hopefully we're better this year, and Patrice Bergeron can reclaim his spot at the top of this list. Ted Lindsay goes to Stamkos, and Rocket Richard goes to Tarasenko. He broke Alex Ovechkin's record, or not record, streak. God, I'm starting off this video fantastic. Start out with a rant, and then we go straight into a misspeak. So what we want to do now, oh my lord, what we want to do now is look a little bit at our lines, see where we need a little bit of help, and yeah, so what I want to do here, throw Tyler Johnson down there on that third line, and this is going to be more what it's going to look like. So, okay, there we go. So our two main weaknesses in our forward lines right now is the second line left wing where Frank Vetrano is at. And the thing with this spot is we don't really need a young guy to fill this role, because we have already Zaka and Connor that can grow and end up filling that second line role. So what we want here, potentially an older guy, maybe a rental, maybe a guy that's going to retire this year, so we're not stuck with his cap, just something along those lines. And the next spot that we want to fill is this third line right wing role to go along with Tyler Johnson and Kyle Connor. So this is going to be more of an offensive minded guy, and since we only have 4 right wings in our entire organization, I'm going to look for a younger guy here, somebody that can play that third line right wing, a third line right wing in the short term, and then eventually move into that second line right wing role. As we do something with Backus, because he's 33, he's getting older, either going to retire or regress soon, so we don't want to be stuck with his monster contract. So we can move Krejci to that second center, and then whoever fills this third line right wing spot, move up to the second line. So that's 2 of our needs, and the third one is a right-handed defenseman. So what we have right now is Chara and McAvoy. In hindsight, it could have been either a right-handed defenseman or this depth left-handed defenseman. But I've already done the trades. I know what we're getting. and it turned out to be a depth right-handed defenseman. I'm ruining it. I'm defeating the purpose of me telling you guys what we're looking for. But so Chara and McAvoy. McAvoy's listed as a top 4 defenseman. So hopefully he can grow in this second line role and improve a couple overall points. Hopefully be as good as Chara by the end of the season. The second pairing, we got Krug and Carlo. Carlo listed as a top 6. Hopefully he can grow some as well. Both 20, and McAvoy's 19. So those guys can grow and get better. And as they grow, the strength of our defensive core will grow. Currently, the third line is Joe Morrow and Adam McQuaid. Morrow is on his way back down to the AHL. 80 overall is not good enough for us, so we're going to have to send him down and fill a spot with somebody else. Goaltending-wise, we got Tuukka Rask, obviously one of the best goalies in the game. We are fine in terms of the starting goalie, but the backup, Malcolm Subban, 84 overall, would be a very good backup, but the thing about him having that low elite potential and age 23, his trade value is pretty good right now as an 84 overall, so we're going to look to trade him. And yeah, we don't really have the games, and we can't really give him the ice time so he can grow a little bit more. He's not going to take games from Rask. So we're going to look to send him out and bring somebody else in. Hudobin from the AHL, but bring someone into our organization in general. Maybe fill one of those other needs. So we're going to go make a couple of trades. Like I said, I've already done these trades. I prefer to do them if I can in preparation of the video to figure out what we want. Just due to like the time I spend. So like if I said I wanted to go look at a defenseman, I have to do this for every single team. I'll just do it for Anaheim for you guys. I'll go all the way to over here to defenseman and probably sort by overall or trade value depending on what I'm looking for. And I have to go in and look at each of these guys and look at all their contracts and their attributes to see what we need, because we can't really take on a guy with a lot of salary. So there, Shea Theodore is somebody that we can potentially look at, but once again, he's like that. He's like a second pairing left-handed guy, which is what Torrey Krug is right now. So it's probably not the guy we're looking for. Dupre, no. Vatanen as a right-handed defenseman. Perfect guy that we can throw on our top line right now, but look at that contract. We can't take that. So I'd have to do this for every single team. Basically look at every single NHL-ready defenseman in the game, and that takes time. I worked on these trades for a long time, and I'd rather do them in preparation for the videos, so you guys don't have to watch me struggle through looking at everyone's roster and trying to figure out what we need. And then once I find a player we want, having to figure out what I can give them in return. So I do these trades beforehand, and I have them written down over here in my notebook where I'm keeping track of everything. If I wasn't doing that, I would be all over the place, even more so than I already am in this series. So the first role that we're looking to fill is that third line right wing role. Is the first trade I made, and we are looking for Josh Ho-Sang. So I did this. Okay, there we go. Now we're looking at his attributes. Checking out this guy, 84 overall, 21 years old, right wing playmaker, fantastic offensive stats at 90 offensive awareness, and his shot in the high 80s. Going to be great for us on that third line. Him and Tyler Johnson can work together and maybe lift up Kyle Connor a little bit, get Kyle Connor some points and some success, and then Connor can grow. And he's also not bad defensively. Looking at his AHL stats, he's got 2 years on a rookie deal too, so that's perfect for us with our current cap situation. We only have like $1.5 million to work with, but his AHL stats, 66 points in 76 games. Pretty good, and we're going to give him third line time, probably some power play time with us as well. What we're sending in return, we are getting rid of Jimmy Hayes, kind of dump off a little bit of cap and give the Islanders a replacement for Ho-Sang in the short term. We're going to need this cap in future trades, and we have to throw them a prospect back as well, which I'm fine with given that we're getting Ho-Sang, who's basically a prospect himself. That's also NHL ready. So we're going to trade away Joe Bracco, which is what his name should be because it just rolls off the tongue so damn well that I want to say it every time I look at his name. We're going to trade Jeremy Bracco to the New York Islanders along with Jimmy Hayes, and in return we're getting Joshua Ho-Sang and a guy that we've had on our team before who we flipped. He was on our team for a couple of hours, and that is Jaros right here. I think we got him from Nashville, and then we traded him to the Islanders in a deal for Seidenberg, and now we're getting him back. So right there, Joshua Ho-Sang, he's going to be on our third line, and the team's not happy that I just signed Jeremy Bracco and traded him, but they can get over it. They're adults. They'll be fine. So yeah, I'm just going to do the best lines because we got 3 more trades to make. And the next trade, we're looking to fill that second line left wing role. Hopefully this is a good one. Hopefully you guys like it. You know who I'm getting if I'm on the Canucks. We are going after Daniel Sedin. Thing about Sedin, he's got 1 year, $7 million is not great, but they're going to retain quite a bit of that. And look at his offensive stats; they're obviously fantastic. But he's also good defensively, 4.5 stars. He's going to go on that second line with Backus and Krejci. The old man line is what that's going to be. And he's definitely going to be an upgrade over somebody like Kyle Connor. So throw Daniel Sedin on there. And I believe the number I need to retain is like $1.75 million. That gets us both cap compliant, and Vancouver will accept it. So the first guy we're going to trade to get the rest of that cap out of the way is Adam McQuaid. And so we're going to need to fill his role on our D-core as well. So maybe Joe Morrow will stick around in the NHL. Hadn't really thought that through very much. But Adam McQuaid's on his way out with that salary. And we're going to need to throw them a bigger piece. And that's going to be another one of our forward prospects. Centers here, right there, Harkins. 71 overall, 20-year-old. And the reason I'm fine with this is if you look at, we still have 2 more center prospects in the system, in Forsbacka, Carlson, JFK, and Roop Hintz, whatever his name is. We'll call him Rope-a-Dope. So those 2 guys are prospects in the system, and Tyler Johnson's somewhat young, and it's just not the biggest need right now. If we want to compete, we're going to have to get rid of a top-notch prospect to get Daniel Sedin, and they want him. They want Harkins. So we'll also have to throw in a guy from their side to make to keep them at 50 contracts, and that's going to be Haggerty. Just a throw-in guy, 1 year left on his deal, so I can get rid of him at the end of the season. And to make Vancouver want to do this trade, we have to throw in a couple of 4th-round picks, both ours and the Coyotes, and 1 more player. The man, the myth, the legend, the best 7th-round pick in Bruins franchise history, as he won a Hall of Fame, or he was in the Hall of Fame in his past life, Rod Brind'Amour. Unfortunately, Brind'Amour couldn't do anything for us. Just never showed up. It's like we didn't even sign him. He didn't win us any cups. He wasn't the second coming. So we're getting rid of him ASAP. So now we got Daniel Sedin, and I have to make roster moves. Damn it. That's just a waste of time. Go down here, send these 2 guys down. Alright. So Rod Brind'Amour on his way out. Unfortunately, he was the best player in franchise history, even though he's only on our team for like a month. So that's that. We have Daniel Sedin filling that second line left wing, and Ho-Sang on that third line right wing. I feel like our forward core, we're going to score a lot more goals this year. With that said, we are now looking to fill that defenseman role. We just traded away Adam McQuaid, and we got Joe Morrow on the left side. So we're looking for a younger guy that we're paying less than Adam McQuaid. And the guy for that is on the Toronto Maple Leafs. I tried my best, as we see Nathan Horton there, unfortunately. 79 overall, taking up quite a bit of cap hit for the Leafs. $5 million to be an AHLer. Unfortunate. Unfortunately, what happened to him in his career. Be nice if he could have stayed with the Bruins and, won us that cup. Won us another cup. He did his part in 2011. I'll tell you that much. So the guy we're going after here, we wanted to try to trade for Connor Carrick, but we're going to have to settle with Alexei Marchenko. I did it again. I want to look at his attributes before I left that screen. Alexei Marchenko is very good defensively, that 4.5-star category, but he's also pretty good offensively with an 86 passing and pretty good discipline. Puck skills aren't bad. So he's gonna be a third line defensive guy, defensive minded guy. Probably kill penalties for us, but hopefully he can score a couple points this season as well. And run anything back? Do I need anything else in this trade? Yes, I do. I need a 4th round pick. Just kind of got whatever I could from the Maple Leafs to make this more of an even trade, throwing a little bit of trade value. And the guy we're trading away, unfortunately, is one of our better defensive prospects, but I'm fine with it because we're getting a young defenseman on a good contract back, and that's going to be Zaboral. And the reason we're trading Zaboral is because we also have Shabbat, who's pretty much the same player with the same age, same potential, same trade value. The only difference is I can say Thomas Shabbat better than I can say Jakub Zaboral. And I'm also fine with trading away another young guy, because if you look at what we have right now, in terms of young defensemen, we have McAvoy, Liljegren, Carlo, Shabbat, Krug, and then anyone of Grizzlick, McNabb, Vitti, because I'm not saying your last name, Arneson, O'Gara, Morrow. Any of those guys can end up making the jump to being NHL ready, as there's a big ass bug in my room right now and he's flying. Hopefully he does not bother me any, as I might freak out. So Zaboral, not Shabbat, Zaboral, throw him in here. I had a reasoning for picking Zaboral for this trade over Shabbat, but I might have forgotten it, so we're just going to make this trade. And there we go, Alexei Marchenko on our team, going to be on that 3rd pairing, probably with Joe Morrow, unless we find a better option there. So we're just going to go to roster moves. We have one more trade to make, and it is sending Malcolm Subban on his way. Yeah, so I've been over the reasons of trading Malcolm Subban a couple times, so I will not repeat myself. We're trading Subban to Colorado, and what we are getting back from Colorado is a young forward by the name of Mikko Rantanen. 82 overall, 20 years old, and a low elite left winger. So he's kind of filling in that same role as Zacha and Connor, those young left wing prospects. But I'm fine with that because we only need to hit on 2 out of the 3 now. We don't need to hit on both Zacha and Connor. One of those guys can end up being a failure in the long run, and there's a little bit of insurance in case of that. Also, Rantanen put up 36 points last year, nearly a half point a game guy. Has as a bottom 6 guy, 82 overall. So hopefully he can help us contribute. He can contribute to our success right now, and he might end up being a 4th liner, but that's okay. He might get some power play time. Pretty good offensive stats on that guy. And so he's the only piece from Colorado's side. Like I said, Malcolm Subban from our side. And we also need to throw in a 6th round pick and a guy that we just traded for. Do another flip like I did with Yaros. This guy is going to be Haggerty. They want him. He's on their block, and he made this trade even trade value. Colorado accepted that, and now we're going to go to our roster moves. And our backup goalie for this season is going to be Anhan Khudobin. Or Khudobin. I don't know what I was about to say, but Anton Khudobin is our backup goalie. And I have to make one more move. Trying to figure out who we're going to send down out of our forwards. We have 14 forwards, so Vetrano's going down to the AHL. And also Dominic Moore. I had to pick between Zacha and Moore, and I'm picking Moore because when I re-signed Moore, I knew there was a chance he would not make the roster. And like I said, worst case scenario, Moore is going to be that top line center for us in the AHL and get some young guys to play with him. And Zacha will give him some AHL time if he doesn't cut it. I think he's still on a 2-way contract for 2 more years, so we can send him down and bring Moore up if that's what we choose to do. In the system, I got to bring up a defenseman. Bring up Marchenko. Okay, so that's what our roster looks like. And I'm going to go fix the lines right now. And I'm going to show you guys what they look like afterwards. Alright, we are back. We have the lines set, and this is what they look like. Top line, same as last year. Marchand, Bergeron, Pastrnak. Second line, just like we said it would be, Backus and Krejci, and then we added in Daniel Sedin. Third line, Tyler Johnson in the center. Mikko Rantanen actually on the left wing. So I traded for this guy. without the intent of throwing him on the third line. I had Kyle Connor in mind for that third line spot, but Rantanen has that third scoring line role, while Connor has the depth role. And Rantanen's a little bit better offensively. Oh, that wasn't too loud. Drop my notebook into my controller. Sorry for that. Rantanen has the better offensive stats, so hopefully he can score more goals and produce more points here on the third line with Hosang and Johnson. Fourth line, we've got Connor and Zaka on the wings and Riley Nash as their center. Defense, if I could ever get over there. So Chara McAvoy, like we said, Krug Carlo, and third pairing, Morrow, Marchenko. Nothing crazy going on there. Just like I said they would look like after I made those trades. Power play. So the thing about this power play and these lines is we do not have any sort of defenseman outside of Torrey Krug that can handle power play time based on their attributes. Torrey Krug, with his high 80s offensive stats, the next best guy defensively has like 83s across the board. So this first power play unit has 5 forwards on it. So this is what the lines look like. The second unit might be a little bit weaker. And if our power play is underwhelming this year, what we might do is spread out some of this top line talent on this first unit, or we might throw in some defensemen just to see if that's how the sim is ran. So as I go through the rest of these lines, just some sort of expectations for this year. Quickly on the penalty kill, McAvoy, Carlo, and Marchenko are all on there. So I expect us to compete. I expect us to be pushing for a playoff spot. I might make some deadline deals. I might not. I'm not completely sold that the moves we made this off season and this preseason are gonna instantly vault us into championship contenders. But if there are players out there that can help us, that we can trade for, probably help out that third line or just help out anywhere on the defense, we will do that. There might be some aging veterans out there that they're looking to be traded, just like Detroit does in the first year every time they try to trade you Cronwall and Zetterberg. If there's something out there like that that can help us win, we will do that. So there's what our AHL lines look like. Vidi down here on the third pairing. I'm not saying his name. And goalies, yeah, Rusu and Vladar. I skipped goalies in the NHL on accident. We got Rask and Hudobin. So that's what the lines look like. Let's go check out I'm going to do scouting real quick so it doesn't pop up during the sim. I'm going to do the same thing this year as I did last year. Just going to go over here to the CHL, do a month, whatever. As I hold in a burp, sorry about that. I'll take a look at the free agents, see if there's anybody out there that could help us right now. Oh, there are quite a bit of defensemen, but we have literally 0 cap space. Are there any prospects out there unsigned? I doubt it. Yeah, pretty sure we picked up all these guys that could help us. Top AHL guys. No. Okay. So, team we have now, if we had some cap, I might try to sign Trevor Daley. I looked at him in the offseason, in the free agent signing period, and decided against him. But our offensive category is up to 92, defense 91, and goalie 90. So I'm really intrigued by how this year is going to go. Could easily go either way, but really hoping to be a contender, and hopefully we can win some hockey games. I'm going to go ahead and get some simming done in this episode, so we get sort of a good idea of how this year is going to go before we call it quits. So I'm going to go ahead and sim a month and a half in, up down here until November 1st, I believe. So yeah, and I hate this. Wouldn't trade away players that you recently added so quickly. It won't help your GM rep. I signed a couple of 20-year-old prospects and traded them 2 or 3 months after I signed them. So yeah, whatever, game. Alright, we'll be back in a couple months to show you guys how good we are. Alright, we're back and we're disappointed. So, first of all, we started out the preseason winless. We took Buffalo to a shootout. Other than that, lost every single game. Start off the season mediocre, 3-3. Ended up 3-5. Then we got a couple of 1-0 wins. And then we put together a 4-game win streak, won 5 out of 6, and then added a couple more regulation losses here. So we're 11-10-1. Let's go take a look at what that looks like in terms of the playoffs. We're only 2 points back of the wild card, and we have a game in hand on Detroit. So we're still in there. Toronto is going absolutely insane this far. So yeah, I'm not jumping ship yet. Obviously, it's only been 22 games, only about a quarter of the way through the season. But we're going to need some improvements if we want to be contenders. So, top line of Marchand, Pastrnak, Bergeron, not bad. But at the same time, it's not jumping out to me as being fantastic. But Sedin here on the second line looks like a good pickup thus far. 15 points, 7 goals for us in 22 games. But his line mates only 12 and 10 points, so maybe they're just getting a bunch of production on the power play. Krug 10 points, and then after that, it's just bad. The third line 8, 7, and 4, and the fourth line 4, 4, and 4. That's completely ugly. And we have 3 points from our 5 defensemen not named Torrey Krug. Look at the plus minus. Top line's fine. Top 6 really is fine. Not bad. But the bottom 6 is where the problem is. Here on the fourth line, Zacha, Connor, and Nash are not getting it done. So we might have to send Connor down. He's not really a fourth line guy. Probably bring Dominic Moore back up and would be better. But we just need probably to make some changes. But I'm going to let it go another month. We might do a little bit of live sim here. This video will probably be a little bit long. We'll probably live sim into this next month. I don't know. Goaltending's fine. 2-2-4 for Tuukka Rask. 928 save percentage. So we got to score some goals. Clearly, our defense and our goaltending is not the problem. It is the goal scoring for us thus far this year. So down here, the Boston Bruins, yeah, 2.14 goals for per game. That is atrocious. 2 for 1 goals against is fantastic, but it's not getting done. So power play 15.6, penalty kill 80.4. Both those numbers are subpar. Let's look at our home road split. Yeah, that makes sense. Last 10, 4, 5, and 1. So we need to score more goals, pretty much. That's our problem. And is there any tinkering I can do? Probably shouldn't tinker this early in the season, but I just want to take a look. What if we did something crazy like put Backus as our third line right winger, and then we'd hosting up to the second line. So hopefully this move can rejuvenate both lines. That third line obviously needs some help. They're struggling to get double-digit points thus far in the season. And then we might need to look at getting Backus some more ice time. So he's on that second penalty kill, or second power play. But he's not on the penalty kill, so we're going to throw him instead of Daniel Sedin. Throw him on the first power play unit. God, I'm messing this up real bad. Throw him on the first penalty kill unit and get him some more ice time. So we're going to sim. Hopefully this next whole month will get us into the new year and sort of see where we're at there. Hopefully we can win some games. We're down here to Carolina. Busy month, it looks like. Quite a few road games. We're going to take a trip to Canada and to Texas. But we also have a bit of a home stretch in California. So we're traveling all over the place this month as we start with a shutout win at Anaheim. Back-to-back shutouts. We get a point that game, so not bad. It'll be interesting to see what this team does, you know. That bottom six was just very underwhelming, and that's one thing that I didn't address at the trade deadline, or not trade deadline, excuse me, the draft or free agency, was that bottom six. I knew we needed guys like the 83 to 84 range overalls, veterans, two-way forwards, power forwards that can play down there, maybe some grinders. We just don't have that at this point. We have some skill guys down there, and that might be our problem. But at the same time, we're not scoring goals. As we score 6 against the Capitals, we need to score more goals this season. So it's kind of a thing of, like, I don't know if our problem is we don't have enough grinders and power forwards and two-way guys in our bottom 6, or if our problem is we don't have enough skill guys. As we rattle off 4 straight, that's fantastic. And a point, and then nothing. Okay, so 17, 13, and 4 is looking a lot better than 11, 10, and 1, I think it was. Yeah, 22 games, that's what it was. Another scouting. I wish you could just set like a scouting strategy. Another win, so fantastic. Did much better that month. Providence is winning games too. So we're in that second playoff spot right now, tied with Florida. 1 point behind Detroit, 3 points behind Montreal for that division, automatic division playoff berth. And the fantastic thing right here, 3 more games in hand on Florida, 1 game in hand on Detroit. If you hear my chair in the background, sorry about that. Wow, look at our goals against per game, 2.31. That's going to be easily the best in the league, and we probably have the worst goals for, probably the worst goals for in the game. Nope, we're 4th worst goals for and 2nd best goals against. So both those numbers improved this month. Goals for went up, goals against went down. Power play went up. That's good news. And the penalty kill went up. So Backus on the penalty kill helped out there. The power play still below average. We'd like to get that up a little bit higher. So I'm actually going to live sim another month. I'm really getting into it right now. I really want to see us compete, and I can't wait another day or however long it will be until I record another one of these videos to see how we do. Marchand, Sedin, and Krejci all 27 points. Pasternak 23, Bergeron 21. Hosang up to 20. So putting him on that second line has been good for us. And Backus with 17. And our bottom 6 scoring is still hurting. But we won more games that month, and no one really is a worse minus than they were last month. Tuukka Rask, 216 GAA, 930 save percentage. If he is not on pace for the Vezina, then I don't know who is. I might even get the Jennings as well, just like I don't remember. It was at the beginning of this video. Whoever did it, whoever won both of those. So we're gonna go to the All-Star break. We will end this video with seeing who from our team was an All-Star, and at this rate it might be the guy who was not on our team about 30 minutes ago in this video. It might be Daniel Sedin. Wow, so 3 straight wins to start this month, giving up 1 goal each, per usual, playing fantastic defensively. But what was good about those 3 games was that we scored 4+ in each of those games. Bruce 4 or more goals. Cassidy, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids, whatever you want to go with. So we're trending upwards right now, and this is really good news. Very encouraging. I'm really glad that I don't have to tear this team apart already, because I didn't want to. We are on a tear right now as we beat Tampa twice in a week, and we play Philly twice, both close games. So what we're looking for here is that A- scouting accuracy, which we get in Liga. I believe that is Denmark, but I'm probably wrong. Actually, it's probably Finland. So in Finland we have that. Oh my gosh, we're just ripping off wins right now. We might go undefeated until the rest of the season's over. We might go 16-0 in the playoffs. So that month was great for us. We only dropped 1 game. It was in regulation, so we were what, 10-1 that month. So that's looking great for us. This video might be a little bit long. I don't know how long it's going to be, just due to how long it took me to make the lines, but that's okay, because we are 2nd place in our division. 1 point behind the Maple Leafs, who are absolutely tearing it up at the beginning of the season. And another thing is we have 4 games in hand on Toronto, so we might be competing for a division title this year. And as David Krejci steps up in points, leading the team thus far, tied with Daniel Sedin, 39 points in 46 games. Marchand with 35, Bergeron 34, Pastrnak 32, Hossein 27. So those top 2 lines are really distributed, really even scoring. And we're seeing our bottom 6 pick it up a little bit with Backes, Rantanen, and Johnson all in the 20s. And our defense is not scoring, but that's okay. Marchenko, unfortunately, with his 86 passing, 82 offensive awareness, has not been able to put up any points this year. He's got a meager 1 point. 6 double-digit goal scorers thus far. That's good news. And Tuukka Rask, 201 GAA. That's insane. 933 save. So Tuukka Rask on the back end's getting it done. I might buy a Tuukka Rask jersey just for this series. And so yeah, our stats are looking fantastic. We're playing fantastic. We're getting contributions. We're getting even scoring across the board. Our top line guys are still performing like top line guys. And look at that goals for per game, up to 2.7. Still worse in our division, but it really tells you something about where our goals for per game was at the beginning of this season, when I'm happy about 2.7. And I'm happy about us being in last place in that respect. 2.2 goals against. We're keeping up that insane pace. Power play's gone up. Penalty kills insane. That's going up as well, almost to the point that the Bruins were in the real 16-17 season. But 7th in the league in points. Looks like we're tied for least games played with the Stars. So look at the West. My God. Okay, so we're behind the Blue Jackets. 4 points back, 3 games in hand. That's very attainable. And if we wanna compete for the President's Trophy, we're gonna have to go on a run here once again, as the Winnipeg Jets are performing very well thus far. So our goals for per game is still bottom 10 in the league, but our goals against is number 1 by a long shot. We've torn away from the Kings in that category and in the goals for category. So everything's looking great. I'm gonna leave this video here at this point. Actually, no, I gotta look for the All-Stars. So hopefully the hockey analyst is talking about the All-Stars. Is he? He's talking about... Yeah, here we go. So here's the All-Stars for this season. Sidney Crosby, Shea Weber, Stamkos, Ben, Kane, Tarasenko, Eichel, Tavares, Ovechkin, Carlson, McDavid, Giroux, Ekman Larson, Holtby, Burns, Subban, Hall, Falk, Barkov, Rene, Parise, Shevin Kattenkirk, Perry, and Yossi. So nobody on our team was on that list, unfortunately. I don't know how they do it in this game, because they don't do a player from every single team, and there's definitely not enough players for 2 whole teams. But whatever. That's okay, because our offense is up to 93. As I'm trying to stretch this video out as long as possible, because I don't want it to end, I'm going to go look at everyone's morale and our progress reports. Look at those morales. Those are fantastic. Down here, 4 guys that aren't the happiest. Daniel Sedin, ice time. Come on, man. Okay, nothing bad there. Everyone else is doing fantastic. And progress reports. So, this season, or in this video, it turns out we're contenders. And that's great news. That's just what I wanted to see. I wanted to see us win games. I want to see this guy go out on top, as he's losing some stats from natural growth, but that's okay. It's what we expected, but it's not much. Zaka's growing, and he's got some insane morale growth too, so that's good news. And Marchenko and Daniel Sedin's losing some as well, but nothing too spectacular. So we're contenders this year. We're doing well. You guys saw our record, and you guys saw how we turned it around with just that one little line change, just switching Backes and Hosang, and how that really made a difference for our team. It's odd how you can just change that one little thing, and your season can just turn around, and all of a sudden we're one of the best teams in the league. and early in the season we couldn't score a goal to save our lives. So I'm fumbling over this conclusion, this ending of this video. So I'm gonna leave it here. I might check out the trade market and see who's available between videos, and I might not. It just depends. Depends on how I'm feeling. I don't think we really need to add anybody just based on how well we're playing thus far. But at the same time, you can always improve your team, and we do have some weaknesses. We could use a veteran presence on the bottom six, a veteran physical presence like David Backus. So maybe that's what helped us out a little bit, was throwing the physical Backus down there. Who knows? This game's weird. The simulation's weird. And while we're 1 point away from leading our division, we're also a measly 2 points away from being in a wild card spot. So I'm gonna leave it here. I've said that like 5 times now. This time I mean it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Please let me know how I'm doing, what you like, what you don't like. Any criticisms, any suggestions, please leave that in the comment section below. Your support is greatly appreciated. And tune in next time to see if we can make the playoffs, and if we do, where are we going to be, who are we going to be facing, how did our season end out. So alright, tune in next time, guys, to see how we do.